Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the Las Vegas Raiders and kind of looking at their roster and going over what I expect out of them this year and reacting to their GM Mike Mayock stating that the Raiders need to be a playoff team this year. He believes they can do it and he believes they should do it. So I'm going to be kind of reacting to that and giving my thoughts on it. But before that topic, got to hear your guys' opinions. Do you think the Raiders will make the playoffs? Yes or no? Comment down below and we'll see how our answers match up. Getting straight into it though, looking at the Raiders this year, looking at their own division, Chiefs are the Chiefs. You're not beating the Chiefs. And if you come with the argument that you beat them last year in the regular season, go ahead and stop watching this video because I don't want to waste my time with you. Perfect example, Bucks got beat by the Saints twice last year in the regular season. Come playoffs, who beat the Saints? The Bucks. Who won the Super Bowl? The Bucks. The what we did last year, the what we did in the regular season, what we did last time, that doesn't mean anything. All right, I know it's good in theory, and it could be a 1% variable in your equation of how you're evaluating the Raiders, but don't make that your main argument. Looking at the Chargers, quarterback play, Herbert's on the come up. Their offensive line is a little questionable, not in the sense that it's the talent there, but in the sense of the chemistry is there. You know, it's a great players, but it's a lack of chemistry. But I would argue their offensive line is better. I would argue their receiving core is better. And I would argue that the Chargers' defense is better. Looking at the Broncos, or as Raiders fans like to call the Donkeys, Broncos got a top 5, top 3 possible defense this year. So Raiders are struggling in their own division. Again, and this is no disrespect to the Raiders. Derek Carr is a top, 13, top 12, top 10 quarterback. Wherever you got him, right around that range, top 15, top 10. Josh Jacobs is probably a top 12, top 10 running back, just like Carr. Kenyon Drake's a great backup option. Offensive line, we'll see how it is after they lost Rodney Hudson, but reached a little Alex Leatherwood, kept Richie Incognito. We'll see if a receiver can step up, mainly looking at Henry Ruggs or Bryan Edwards. These younger guys, can they hit that next level? Henry Ruggs, he's not living up to his first receiver being taken in an entire draft class expectations. Of course, you got still Hunter Renfrow, who's pretty reliable, and Darren Waller, who's an X factor, but still need a little more out of that receiving room. Defense, this is where things get questionable. I just made a video on the Raiders defense, and a lot of people didn't like what I had to say, but it's just my opinion, what I think. I think they've made a lot of cool, interesting moves, is how I'd call it. Solomon Thomas, a guy that was once projected to be a great player for the 49ers, is now just sitting on the Raiders roster somewhere on the defensive line. Gerald McCoy, a guy that hasn't played in years, now just on the Raiders chart. Denzel Perryman's now there. KJ Wright's there. They got Yannick Ngakoue added, who's a pretty big brand name. Having him and Max Crosby on each other's end, that's going to be pretty good. Littleton's there. Added Casey Hayward to help out. Newly added Trevon Moore, Jonathan Abrams. They made moves. There's new players to this team that are going to bring or try to bring some electricity. Like I said, Perryman, McCoy, Thomas, Casey Hayward, Trevon Moore, Yannick Ngakoue. They've made moves. But just looking at their own division, they don't match well. And in the AFC, there's some tight contention. The way I see the AFC playoff picture, roughly, give or take a team or two being added, being subtracted, just injuries happen. Chiefs, Bills, Browns, Ravens. Those are 4 absolute locks, in my opinion, pending any huge injuries. Again, Chiefs, Bills, Browns, Ravens, no specific order. Those teams will make the playoffs out of the 7 spots, and someone has to make it out of the AFC South. Whether it be the Titans, whether it be the Colts, whether it be Deshaun plays, whether Trevor Lawrence is the next best thing, someone's got to make it out of the AFC South. So let's just go with the Titans. They're the healthiest right now. That's 5 teams that I think will make it. And then in the last 6 and 7 spot, you got some tight teams fighting for it. The Patriots and Mac Jones, the Dolphins of Tua and their pretty good defense, possibly the Chargers in your own division with Herbert, possibly the Broncos in your own division with the great defense, possibly the Steelers, possibly the Colts. That's 6 teams plus the Raiders 7, and I know you're going to slash about half of those in half. Will say, we got the Chargers, we got the Broncos, those suck, the Steelers suck. Mac Jones isn't going to do anything, so all we're worried about is Miami and the Colts. Well, still, I'm taking Miami and the Colts over the Raiders, and I know this will sound like a hate video straight towards the Raiders, and I'm not meaning that, but Raiders fans are pretty biased and opinionated toward some positive takes. There's a difference between being positive and being delusional as far as aspirations and goals and expectations go. And for the Raiders fan base, it seems like a lot of them are delusional. I'm not saying that's you specifically, who's watching me right now. Yes, you. Not saying that's you, but look around, take a step back and look. Yeah, that guy, he thinks we're going to go undefeated and win the Super Bowl. Clearly, he's just a drunk fan. That's crazy. But Not saying they can't fight for it because injuries happen. Let's say Mahomes gets hurt. Division's wide goddamn open, that's for sure. But pending any big injuries, I just don't see them making a push. Of course, there's always surprise teams. They did fairly well last year, but they had a few shaky games. Yes, you were competitive with the Chiefs. Yes, you only beat them once. That would give your record another win. Yes, you almost beat the Dolphins. That would give your record another win. Yes, you got blown out by the Falcons. You could call that a fluke game. That would give your record another win. Now you're sitting at 10, 11, 12-ish wins, and you would have made the playoffs last year. I get that. But still, I just don't see it happening. I'm not saying it's impossible. If you've told me to put my own money on the line, Mike Mayock is going to be a little disappointed with what he sees out of his Raiders. John Gruden, I like him. He's a very cerebral-like head coach, but I just can't see it happening. I like the specs of talent they got across the board, but I just think the AFC is too competitive, too tight for the Raiders to squeeze in a playoff spot, given some huge injury or fall off by a random team that I was expecting to be great. But you guys tell me. I like to be unbiased. I like to be open. If there's a comment, a player, a take, an opinion that you want to drop down below in the comments to try and sway my mind, I'm open to reading it. I'm open to letting it affect my opinion. I'm willing to change my opinion. Like I said, if you got the right take, so make sure to drop down below. And, of course, referring back to the question, do you think the Raiders will make playoffs, yes or no? I'm saying no. Not saying it's impossible. But if you're asking me to bet on it, I would keep my money far, far away from saying yes as of today. But anything could change week 1. They upset the Ravens in week 1, Monday Night Football. That could change everything. We'll just have to see. As always, and of course, thank you for watching, guys. 2-minute warning.